Well, a very good evening, Bridge North footy fans. Welcome to the second episode of Parrot Park Radio, brought to you by the Bridge North Footy Club. We're coming to you from City Park Radio Studios in the magnificent area here. At the back of the Monkeys, actually. When I arrived here tonight, I saw didn't see the Monkeys. They've gone to bed, but just behind where the monkeys sleep is where our studio is here. But the way Bobby spoke last week, he might wake him up very shortly. Bobby Beams, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm going well, Rick. Good to be back. We didn't get the plug pulled this week.
No,
we did well. The feedback was very well received. So
indeed.
Thank you.
And Pup, good to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you, Rick. Yeah, no, good. Same with Bobby. I've got a fair bit of feedback throughout the week, and all been positive. So that's obviously great news.
Absolutely fantastic. And what are you blokes been up to this week? Obviously, normally we talk about this. We'd say about how the footy went last weekend. But what are you doing on a Saturday with no football?
Oh well, I'm getting quite a few jobs done. stuff I've put off for the last 20 years because of footy. But missing footy heaps, Rick. But watched all the old Richmond DVDs I've got. So. Someone said, how long would it take before I got Richmond on this show? So, second week, I've got them started. So, yeah, no, enjoying watching them. 2017, 2019 box set, really good.
Yeah, nothing much else in between, though, was there? So, at least you've only got a couple of years that you can watch. I think I caught up with Michael Roach last week, and I think that was the last one, but 1980. So,
yeah, it was.
There you go. So, get that over and done with. Then you can just put that away. I've got a fair bit up on you with the Hawthorn ones, mate. I could just about go about 8 of those in that period of time.
Come on, boys. We all know who's got the most premierships at the moment. I know I share it with a club I hate, as in Carlton, but me being a Bomber man. And actually I've been flicking back through highlights of 84 and 85. And
well, did you watch Channel 7's footy match on Saturday night that they played?
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah, that's when Plugger Lockett kicked that point after the game to knock you blokes out. Did you watch that?
I'd forgotten all about that, actually. Rick, thanks for bringing that up.
Bridge North had their 1996 footy trip that weekend.
Right.
We'd won the premiership the week before, and we went on the footy trip, and there was quite a few Essendon boys. I don't know if you were on that trip, Pup, were you?
No, I went the following year.
Yeah, there's quite a few Essendon boys on that, and we watched it down in a pub out at Toorak. Thank God it's Fridays, and a few of those boys were very disappointed by the end of the night, but we were giving it to them too. Yeah. So, yeah, good memories.
That's what you do on footy trips. Hey, we've got another big show coming up tonight. We're going to continue our countdown of the top 10 players of the century for the first 20 years at least. So who's it going to be tonight occupying position number 9? Well, we'll stick around, we'll tell you, because, of course, last week we caught up with Plugger Pruitt, who came in at number 10. And number 9, we're going to drop any hints?
You must listen. It'll be very good.
Hey.
It'll be very, very good.
I don't know if that's a hint,
Bobby.
but anyway.
Yeah.
So we've got that to look forward to a little bit later on in the show as well. And we're going to catch up tonight with, the other half of the captaincy of the women's team as well, aren't we? Caitlin Mulligan, she's going to join us. And James Grievous.
Yes, James.
We'll have a bit of fun.
Played in last year's grand final. Was bit of a character around the club, so I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And, of course, Parrot Lotto. We gave a bit of cash away last week. Of course, all the tickets sold out, and we're going to draw, what are we doing tonight, another couple?
Another couple again, Yep.
$200 and $100.
Yep, correct.
Same again.
Yep.
Righto. So we've got that. As you can hear, you might be able to just hear this in the effects, Mike. We are warming up the balls. And,
all legit, of course, isn't it, Rick?
Of course it's legit.
Yeah.
We'll do that a little bit later on tonight as well. What else is on your minds this week before we get into the interviews?
Oh, I've had some good feedback, Rick, as I know Pup has as well. I got quite a few messages, which was one of the reasons we wanted to get this show on the air and get people talking and communicating. So, no, plenty of stories put forward to me. Some of them were so-so stories, probably can't be mentioned on here. Did have one message from Paul Clark, who got a mention on here last week, and he said, how about counting down our top 10 rangers that have ever played at the club? So
you've had a few, haven't you?
Well, Yeah,
I
he'd
reckon
be
we-
up there.
yeah.
He'd be in the top few. So
So that's why he wanted.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he wanted to get himself
Exactly,
another
yeah, 'cause
mention. But even ABC Radio even come with a phone call to do an interview with me. So that was good.
Yeah.
Probably spoke for
How long did that go for?
Oh, probably 6 or 7 minutes. So I think I drew breath twice while I was on there. So no, it was good. So the feedback was well received. What about you, Pup? You had a few people.
Yeah, same, Bobby. Yeah, all positive, and obviously with the first, I think it went like just talking to Rick before the show. Went for I think an hour and 10.
Yep.
We were worried about going a bit longer than probably we should have, but no negative feedback on the length of it either.
No.
But we'll see how we go tonight.
Fantastic, and we had well over 500 tune in last week, so that's a great start.
Great start.
Yeah, no, happy with that.
Very, very nice. So we're going to get into Parrot Park Radio shortly. We're going to take an ad break. So this is something new. We haven't done ads, so we're going to evolve as we go every week.
Yeah, we are. Thanks to Marcus Byard for putting all this together too. One of our sponsorship team. You'll hear the ads.
Yep.
They're all very well done. So excellent, Marcus.
Yep,
Thank
we'll
you.
get them a good plug. So you can draw a bit of breath tonight. You blokes don't need to go through the whole spiel of every sponsor.
No.
Yeah, no, good thing, I reckon.
He's good. And, of course, thanks to Chris Ball here at City Park Radio for coming in and helping us out once again and allowing us to be put to where we really appreciate it. All right, here we go. Time for a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to catch up with Caitlin after the break.
Don't get caught in the hype. Talk to the experts in solar at CNW. We're local, established, trusted, and all CNW installers are fully accredited. So if you want a tailored solar solution for your commercial property or business with guaranteed quantifiable results your accountant will love, call or drop in your local solar experts at CNW today. CNW. Solar systems you can trust.
Titan Windows and Doors are your leaders in quality UPVC double glazed windows and doors with exceptional energy efficiency. With a comprehensive range, our friendly staff are sure to help you select the perfect choice for your new or existing premises. Call in and see us today at 9 Lagana Park Drive or phone 63 303 639, a proud Bridge North Parrots major sponsor.
Motel 429 Sandy Bay, Hobart. Terrific long-term sponsor of the Bridge North Parrots. Great place to stay for all our members travelling down to the capital. Owned by past player and committee person David Patmore and his wife Louisa. Overlooking the picturesque Derwent River, across the road from Rest Point and a short drive to the CBD. They provide outstanding accommodation including deluxe water views. Ideal for the corporate or leisure traveller.
And welcome back to Parrot Park Radio. Rick Fontaine here, along with Bobby Beams and Pup Ketchell. And our first guest tonight, well, she is the second half of the co-captaincy unit of the Bridge North women's team. She's the co-captain. A little bit of a bio here as well. She had a cracking year last year. She was runner-up in the women's best and fairest. She was also representative of the NTFAW team in the big rep games at Invermay Park last year, and also made the NTFAW team of the year, all while still being a teenager. And she may not know what she's got herself in for coming on here tonight to talk with these other two blokes sitting opposite me. But we do welcome Caitlin Mulligan. How you going, Caitlin?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic, thank you. It was about -10 when we got here last week. This week's a lot milder tonight, so bucketing down with rain. But what are you doing with no footy to play at the moment? We spoke to Kate last week, and she's obviously just finished the house, and she's got plenty to do and running around with the dog. But what are you doing killing your time?
Nothing as exciting as that. Fortunately, I'm one of the ones that are able to still work at the moment, so if I'm not there, it's chucking a couple of exercises in the morning or of an afternoon just to keep myself active and fit, or just taking the dog for a walk just for motivation. I mean, it's been really hard trying to stay fit and get motivated with such a crisis going on at the moment, that's for sure.
Now, for those who don't know, what's your day job?
I'm a pharmacy assistant at Amcal.
Do you want to give the store a plug?
We
We can all come and get our medications.
yeah.
G'day, Caitlin. Bobby here. How are you?
Yeah, good, Bob. How are you?
Going all right, thank you.
Good.
Now, Rick touched on how good your season was last year, and that was only your second year of football.
Yeah.
What was the highlight for you? Obviously, there was, you ticked a few boxes, and we had great time as a team. What was the highlight for you?
There was a couple. I think something quite significant would be playing for a club that, all played for the same reasons and played for fun. I know with a lot of other sports, it's all about being competitive and winning every game, and I think it was a different environment coming into this, being able to play and enjoy your sport with a group of girls who were all there for the same reasons and ambitions. I think it was great for everyone to be on the field and all want to play for the same reason. I think that was great. Yeah,
no, definitely, Caitlin. What were you looking forward to, or what are you looking forward to most in 2020? Obviously, we had a pre-season was very good. You set high standards on the track. What were you really looking forward to the most this year? And hopefully it can still happen.
Yeah, no, I think one of the things I was really looking forward to is from last season how excited and determined everyone was in our very last game, and bringing those efforts and all those strengths from our previous season into this season was going to hit us right off the mark and definitely show other sides what we were capable of this year. But obviously with this whole COVID thing at the moment, has stopped that and stopped all the plans.
Yes, so far. Hopefully it can turn around later in the year and we can get out on playing some games. So I'll hand over to Pup, and I might have a light-hearted one after he speaks.
Good.
G'day, Caitlin. How are you?
Good, Pup. How are you?
Good, thank you. Great to hear your voice.
Oh, you too.
That's the way. Are you having a kick of the footy with anybody?
Yeah. Oh, kicking the ball around with Rowan, I guess.
Yep. That takes me back actually to early last year. I think it was. Cliffy and I, one Friday afternoon, we're up at the club setting up inside, ready for the home game the next day. And when we finished, we've gone outside and had a couple of beers. And Cliffy's gone, "Oh, there's Tig out there having a kick." And wonder who that is with him? Young girl out there. And I've had a look. Oh yeah. And then I've gone, "Oh shit, that's Caitlin." And I didn't say anything at the time, but when we left, you were still there, so I just yelled out to Tig, "Hey, Tig, when you're out, can you just lock the gate?" And
that was very stressful. I do remember that.
The next day you got stuck into me for noticing that you were out there, and I'm like, having an innocent beer at the club.
You throw me under the bus.
Come on, Caitlin, we don't do stuff like that.
No, of course we don't.
And obviously, congratulations. That resume you've got in 1 year at the footy club, that's phenomenal, and something that you should be very proud of, because I know we are. That's just a great effort so far, Caitlin.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Imagine what you're going to have in another 10 years' time.
Unstoppable, that's for sure.
To be quite honest with you, after listening to Kate last week and now yourself, I can actually see you actually doing another co-job and being the first female presidents of the club. Get in before.
Don't be throwing words in my mouth like that, Pup.
Yeah, but no, get in before we have to appoint Bobby.
Yeah. Couldn't think of anyone worse.
Oh,
I'm kidding, I'm joking.
Well, there is only one female president in the NTFA at the moment, too, isn't there,
with
Lynette down at Georgetown. So, kind of talk to me about the how you found the standard of the competition going into NTFAW last year, and a good number of clubs taking part. Did it take a lot of adjustment? How did you find it?
Well, the standard was quite high. There's obviously a lot of great, skilled, fast, athletic girls out there, and obviously it was quite, hard trying to keep up with a lot of them. But, just putting yourself in a position where you've got to, focus on yourself and what you can do. You can only control what you control, as Bobby would say. So putting yourself in a position of a mindset not to be defeated by anyone, and that's what I went to in a lot of games.
It's great to hear you listen to what I say, Caitlin.
Well, that's one of nothing else for Bob.
I've said it enough times, I suppose, haven't I?
Oh,
Now, back on the pup about you becoming a president, it's probably not a bad idea because you're very opinionated sometimes, especially with your coach.
very structural. That's what I'd call it.
You what? Sorry.
Very structural, opinionating stuff.
Oh yeah, no, you certainly are. Now a question here. You probably won't want to throw any of your teammates under the bus, but who's the most annoying within our group? And there's obviously 4 of us men there as coaches. Who is the most annoying? It could be one of your teammates as well.
Yeah. Don't know if annoying's the right word. I think unique would be another one.
Because he's old, pup.
Come on,
No,
Bobby.
no. You ramble too much sometimes, Bobby, so that'd be an issue.
Oh, come on, Caitlin. We know he doesn't do that.
Oh, come on, pup. You were in the background chirping off the other way. What do you mean? No, I wouldn't say annoying. I'd say there's a couple of interesting girls who maybe don't quite think before they speak, and they say some quite sort of phenomenal things that you'd just be blatant obvious straight in front of them and they wouldn't even notice. So I don't know.
No, fair enough, Caitlin. Certainly great to hear your voice. I can't wait to be able to have you and all the other girls back on the track.
Stop it.
Not sure when that'll be, but hopefully it won't be too long, and we can get back into the training where we left off. So, thank you for being our first guest tonight.
No, that's all right. Thank you.
Well done, Caitlin.
We should
Great
say,
job.
well, you've heard it here first on Parrot Park Radio tonight. Potentially future president,
Yeah,
Caitlin Mulligan. There you go.
Yeah, she's already come to me, said she'd want to get on board where she can. So, it'd be great to have her help out.
Fantastic. All right, great to have Caitlin on board with us tonight, co-captain, of course, with Kate Clark, who we had on last week. And they're both impressive speakers too, aren't they? So talk about their leadership, Bobby. Obviously, you see it firsthand week in, week out, how important they are in that role. Yeah,
no, definitely, because our group was very, very young last year. Our average age was 19. Yeah, so... And our 2 captains in Caitlin and Maddie Howe, Maddie's had a bub, so she won't be playing this year, and hopefully some stage she can play again. And yeah, they were both teenagers, both 19 as well, and they led the side tremendously well. This year we have added some experienced players there in the NTFA captain and vice captain of the rep side, as in Letitia Johnson and Courtney Sharman, plus some other girls that have had fair bit of life experience in that as well, which has been great. But the leadership of Maddie and Caitlin and now Kate come on board has been fantastic. Their ability to grow the group and keep them all connected has been great. And obviously in this current time, there's probably never anything more important, or never a time more important for it to happen. So we just want to get back out there and do what they're very, very good at. And hopefully that can happen soon. Oh,
look, and I think we're not too far away from finding out a bit more information on where things potentially may go in the next week or two. Hopefully things will become a bit clearer. I haven't seen the data today, but obviously we had 4 coronavirus-free days in terms of new cases. I think we need to see a bit more of that before we all get too excited. But I'm interested in what your views are, because there'd be a lot of... There's probably a fair bit of apprehension out there still about not coming back with any form of sport too quickly, and the mindset of people as well, where particularly the elderly, who may be a bit nervous going through the gates, where there are going to be crowds, if there are going to be crowds.
Yeah, no, that's right, Rick. Obviously, we just touched on this quickly before we came on air, and very, very interesting point with the obviously the older people around the club that obviously love watching their footy and that, but just through these circumstances, nervousness, but also probably wanting to get back in a bit of normality and getting along to the footy. And as you know, at Bridge North, you can sit in your car
That's
and
right.
all around the ground. So we have got that option.
And the other element as well, particularly people elderly who may be on their own, they're very lonely, and it's extremely important to have that outlet where they can catch up with similar like-minded people who just love their
and not just
footy and companionship.
Just elderly, all ages, anyone. Just that connection, what the football club brings, and I mean, my opinion is, I think we will very shortly, hopefully, be able to get back to some form of training. I know there's one number that they seem to throw around as 10. We could probably train in groups of 10 for a start. As far as game goes, playing again, I think they're going to have to, and it'll be the government to bring it in, that it'll have to be gatherings of 500 or more, because simply, unless we have a crowd, no club can play. We've got to have a crowd. We've got so many overheads to run a game, and so we've got to have a crowd. So that will be the magic thing. And I think what you touched on before, Rick, if we can continue these case-free days for several weeks, that's what it's going to come down to. Cases, isn't it? The less cases and the more days we have with no cases is going to be what gets us over the line, where we can probably start, say, at 500, and then after a few weeks of the season, open it up to 1,000 or more so we can have a final series.
And we are in a unique situation in that we are an island. I mean, we're not going to be opening up the borders anytime soon for people to fly in and holiday down here, I don't think. I think that'll be one of the last things that happens.
Yeah.
So in terms of, I think you're right, if we can keep these corona-free days in terms of new cases going, where we've got this pattern and our borders are shut, I think we're going to, you may see that that decision could be brought forward maybe.
It could be. I think there's room too to move, that the season could be pushed back. I know some people have already spoke about it, that could start in July, August, and play in the end of October, and cricket season starts a bit later. I think that's important if we can do that, and if we have got the ability to do that. I think the effect of not playing is going to be far greater than the effect of what could come of this if not. So
it's a good point, because I think as well, Pup, what we're seeing with the with footy, these summer sports, I would hope will show a bit of compassion, because they've largely been completely unaffected by this.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, their seasons, not in all cases, but in the majority of cases, their seasons were done and dusted before this started.
Yep. No, that's right. And actually, looking back at our local cricket, whether it be the TCL or the NTCA, they have quite an interrupted start to their season with wet weather and that anyway. So if it's just a month apart, I can see it, and people working together to get those results.
No, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and no doubt when everyone starts listening to what we're rambling on about, we'll get plenty of comments and on our on the Bridge North Facebook page as well, and that's what we want. We want open discussion, get what people think, because someone might have a great idea that no one's thought about.
Exactly.
That's right.
So
and I think there'll be the government and AFL will make some big announcements within sort of the next week, which will give us a little bit more clarity.
It is on the cards, so we are expecting to hear more from the AFL mid to late next week, is my understanding. So, all right, we'll wait and see. Time for a quick break, everyone. We are going to be back very, very shortly with a man who's approaching 50 games with Bridge North, James Griffiths. He'll be our guest next.
Riverside News and Lotto, a proud Parrot sponsor, is your local contact for all Australia Post requirements, lottery and news agency needs. Drop into their store at 314 West Hammer Road, Riverside. IGA Express Beaconsfield at 116 World Street, Beaconsfield, for all your grocery and hardware needs. Proudly local with a fantastic range of goods. Call in and see Shane and the team today, a proud Parrot sponsor.
Beams Brothers is our longest serving sponsor, who are big supporters of local football. Beams offers a huge variety of products from agricultural lime and dolomite, landscaping materials to machine hire, all at affordable prices. Beams Brothers have grown from humble beginnings to now being one of the West Hamers' biggest employers. Past present employees have pulled on the Parrots Guernseys, with 4 brothers, Ian, Ted, Tony and Donald, playing with the club, also with brother-in-law Peter Stratton. Robin Tasker had a kick, as did modern-day star Joel Clements. Call Beams Brothers today.
How's that for an ad? Jeez, that was pretty good, Bobby.
Yeah, young Marley Clements there, Joel's daughter.
Great job.
Very, very good.
Absolutely. All right, welcome back to Parrot Park Radio. You're with Rick Fontaine, Bobby Beams, and also, of course, we've got Pup here in the studio with us as well. And our next guest, he was part of the Bridgenorth Grand Final team last year. They couldn't quite get the chocolates in the big one. Obviously, it was very, very tight up until three-quarter time, but Hillwood got a good run on there in the last quarter to grab that premiership. But he'd be a bit frustrated that we haven't been playing any footy for the reason that he's getting pretty close to a milestone of 50 games with Bridgenorth. He's played 48, 45 in the seniors, 3 in the reserves, and I don't know whether he's been put up to coming on tonight, Pup or Bobby, but you've got him on the run sheet, so I'm going to welcome James Griffiths. How you going, mate?
Evening, gents.
Hey, Jimmy.
G'day, Jimmy.
Now we're asking most of the guests that we got coming on the program, what are they doing on their weekends of no football? What have you been up to, mate? Have you found plenty to do?
Pretty basic for me. I just have a bagel every morning from Kachina and then just really cruise into the weekend.
Jeez, very, very nice indeed. That's a very upmarket there, Kachina, and lovely. I'll tell you what, their stuff's great too. That is fantastic. Very nice. You pop over the road into the park there, do you, and just smell the autumn leaves as they drift down off the trees and have a little snooze?
Most of the time, usually we go for a walk across to the boathouse after we finish there.
Right.
Sneak in
Fantastic.
there for a coffee.
Yeah, but that's a nice way to start the day, Bobby.
Yeah, go get a coffee off Isaac Lethborg down at the boathouse.
Yep.
Very, very nice indeed.
Yeah, great coffee down there.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
See whether he might give us some coffees now. We're giving him a good plug.
Yeah, no, very good.
Need that as we approach winter on a Tuesday night when we do the show. Hey.
James, Bobby here, mate.
How are you, Bobby?
Yeah, going all right, Cobber. Now, your 2019 season finished off personally for you very well, where you played a very important role in the final series. Obviously, you spent a couple of games in the reserves, but you got yourself back into the seniors.
Yeah.
What were you looking forward to most for 2020? Probably on your amount the times you trained in the pre-season, it wasn't the training, but what were you looking forward to the most?
What I was looking forward to, probably playing in the forward line without China being there.
Was you?
What I was looking forward to, yeah. Try to sneak into the forward line.
Same height.
Same height, just more hair.
Yeah,
Well, that's it.
And that's probably takes me to the next question, where you've obviously played as a mid, as a winger, as through the midfield, and as a forward, maybe occasional run off half back.
Yep.
Forward line is the place you think you're best suited to. You snagged a few goals there a couple of years ago in that position.
Yeah, I do love that position. I do. I love being a bit of a goal snag.
Yep, very good. Pup.
Yeah. How are you, Jimmy?
Good, pup.
Good to hear that you've been going along pretty good.
Yeah.
A little bit of info I've dug up, though. You probably weren't that flash first up Monday morning. Is that a true or false statement?
That is a true statement. That is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
With your cousin in tow.
Yeah, we both woke up with some sore heads.
Yeah.
We did.
And
yes.
I was told you had to call in a plumber. Why was that?
Oh, yes. My cousin filled up the sink with some fluids, and he had to call the plumber in to unblock the drains.
Yeah. Bit of a. So he paid for that, did he?
No, he didn't.
Right.
He just gave him we gave him a carton of beer, so yeah,
okay.
he paid. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No. Just my job on this show is just to dig up a little bit of dirt on people, and yeah, I've got some good
I'm just trying to
contacts
think
out
who
there.
may have told you.
Beg your pardon?
I'm just trying to think who may have told
Oh,
you.
you'll find out.
Yeah, I reckon I will.
So, Pup, you're not going to throw someone in the slammer here now on Parrot Park Radio and just say, right, this is who it was.
No way, because they'll be doing more research for the next 8 weeks as well, I suppose.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's why geez, I'm getting to learn a lot about the Bridge North Footy Club and how they operate. No wonder you blokes are doing all right. You look after each other, but you don't throw anyone under the bus.
It's all good. All good banter,
At
isn't it,
least we
Jimmy?
know this is not a malicious rumour that's been spread, that Jimmy's given it the thumbs up and said that this actually did happen. Hey, Jimmy, in terms of this year as well, obviously a lot of motivation for the club, but and obviously hunting Hillwood high and low, but the club itself, I mean, it was a brilliant year for the club. I mean, tell us what you love about the club in your nearly 50 games that you've had with them.
Just the family, how you just feel like a big family down Bridge North. Given on like a Thursday night, you got all the bar flies in there. It's just real good club to be around. It is. Functions are the best as well.
Yeah, no, geez, that night we had with Reece Jones down there at the Rosebeers Tavern last year. That was
It was a good,
had a very
night.
good turn up for that one too. You know,
Good day and evening, yes.
It was a very good day and evening. Because, correct me if is it the only footy club that essentially is not in a township as such?
Yeah, no township. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Not a shop. Well, we've got the kiosk, of course, at the
Don't
club.
have no
No
street
traffic
sign.
lights, 2 street lights, and
lights.
we've got a fire station.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
Yeah.
How does that work?
pretty unique.
Yeah, you get a fire station there when you got no residents.
A lot of bush around.
Oh, yes,
We didn't want
yeah.
it burned out.
Fair enough. I'm enjoying the dirt you're digging up here. What else have we got?
Well, Jimmy, I'm going to give you the opportunity to put some dirt on some of your teammates here, but before I do that, I've been digging up my own little bit of dirt on you. Now,
Oh my gosh.
you obviously played before you came to play with us. You enjoyed your footy at Launceston Footy Club. You played some senior footy there. Is that correct?
Yes. I do believe so. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're still a bit of a star amongst all the Launceston players, I believe. The current day Launceston players.
Yeah, I am.
Yes,
Yep.
you are. Now,
I am.
Wondering where he's going with this.
now
I'm worried.
a game last year, North Launceston and Launceston at UTAS Stadium. You went with a couple of Bridge North teammates along to watch. Now you were strutting around, so I heard that down towards the bench, hanging around like a bad smell near the coaching staff and all the players coming off the ground. Now, young Jack Danellan come off the ground and went for the walk along the boundary line with his water bottle, and you've come down there, try to get a bit of contact with him to see if he acknowledged you, and no, nothing. Didn't give you nothing. And as he come back through, you were hanging over the fence that much that the security guard had to stop you entering the playing arena. But then you still didn't get any acknowledgement, James.
No.
And you had to go back and sit back in the stand with the other has-beens. Is that story, that one's a true one, is it?
I think that story's grown legs a little bit and walked off, but yeah, it is kind of true.
Well,
yes, he was in the zone, Donza. It was big game.
Yeah,
game
okay. Now, based on that, you obviously probably know where it come from. I'll give you the opportunity to put a bit of dirt on some of your teammates.
Well, I've got plenty of dirt to give.
Yep. Don't hold back.
Yeah,
No,
let it rip.
I just think one of the stupidest things I've ever been a part of was when we had a practice match down Hobart last year, and Burner, Jake Rice, got sent off in a practice game. I thought that was...
Yeah, that's
Pretty
right. The one we
big-
played on
big
the
shot.
postage stamp down there.
Yes,
At Claremont.
yes.
Yep.
That's it. He got sent off in a practice match.
Yes. No, I do remember that. Yeah.
What else is there?
What did he do? Jeez,
It was something with the umpire. I think he had words with the umpire, Jimmy, didn't he?
I think someone called him Nick Kyrgios or something. I didn't enjoy it.
Jeez, lighten up a bit. Goodness gracious me.
Threw his racket and went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah.
What else do we want?
Well, here's one. Bobby's he asked the same question to Nunny last week, and without hesitation, he who is the most annoying player up there at Bridgenorth.
There's probably two of them actually. Chris Walker's definitely one.
Again.
And then there's also Jordan Partridge.
JP. Oh.
Yeah, he's an absolute pest. He is. He's a shocking human sometimes.
Shocking human.
Jeez.
You want to elaborate more on that a bit more?
Oh, you just don't want to train with him. He just tries too hard against you, and I don't like that. I don't like it too hard. But yeah, that's the only reason why.
Yeah.
Just what do you reckon these blokes are going to be like when they all get back to training? They'd be just beside themselves wanting to get back and be annoying. They've had no one to be annoying to.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Chris would have been with his wife.
Right.
Ange would be pleased to get rid of him out of the house, I reckon.
Yeah.
Now, Jimmy, I haven't done any background on this one, so I hope it's still right. You're looking after one of our women's players pretty well.
Yes. Yeah, yes, I am actually.
Yeah.
Probably.
Chelsea's going well.
Yeah, she's going very well.
Yeah, very good. Another couple in the club from the.
Yeah, well, after Brady left me high and dry for another girl on the footy team, I thought I had to find my own.
Yep. No, that's very good. It's great to have Chelsea Fieldgate on board, another recruit to the women's team. So, yeah, very good.
Were you not sure of that? You could have made an absolute fool of yourself, then, Bobby.
I knew it was official, but I thought, well, I hope it still is. No, very good, James.
Great stuff, Jimmy.
Excellent. All right. Well, look, thanks for coming on and sharing your most annoying players. And that, I thought when you were talking about the Lonnie player, I thought, I know Mitch Thorpe fairly well, and he probably would have said something to you.
He would have, I reckon. Yes.
There we go. Hey, good to catch up. Hopefully you're going to get to go down the club not too far down the track to be able to resume some training and very shortly get up to that 50 club games. That'll be a nice little milestone to get you going for 2020.
Yeah, it will be. It will be a good little milestone.
Good stuff. All right, mate. Thanks for jumping on the line tonight. Appreciate it.
No, cheers, fellas.
Thanks, Jimmy.
See ya.
There we go. Jeez, he's a good fella. Good.
Great.
Tell some good.
bloke.
So, how long's he been with the club now?
It's 3 years.
3
he would
years.
have played. Yeah.
Is this his fourth year?
This will be his fourth. Yeah. Yeah. His brother Zach played 2 years.
Yeah.
Two or three. And family are very well involved. Come down and help out. And
Fantastic.
Yeah, great. And their sister Amy will be playing in the women's side. This side too.
There you go.
This year, so
great family affair. I'll tell you what, that story about the umpire that's got no sense of humour in a practice game there reminds me of a story I was telling some mates during the week. Actually, I was actually umpiring in a former life. I was umpiring a game in the NTFL at Girdleston Park one day. East Devonport were playing someone or other, and I've never seen this on the footy field before, and without a word of a lie, I actually got the cutout from the Examiner newspaper. The other field umpire, this player actually throttled the field umpire, this East Devonport player. He actually put both hands around his throat.
Really?
And shook him. And you know how many weeks he got? 10. That's all he got.
That's it.
Because he said he was retiring at the end of the season because he was going overseas. So he actually did go overseas, and guess what? He came back and he played again.
Yep.
I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was, and off the ground, we're at the tribunal. So remorseful, really nice bloke, but old white line fever.
Yep.
But that is that would have been a sending off anywhere. They weren't. They I think they didn't have sending off then. But that's the worst thing I've seen done to an umpire. I've got to protect these umpires a little bit. I know we bag them all the time. Don't worry, I do now. And it was actually, it was pretty frightening actually to see a field umpire having a couple of hands shoved around the throat.
I got a story similar to that.
Have you?
In this COVID situation, I did say I've been watching a fair few of the Richmond DVDs, but I also put on the old Electrifying 80s VHS.
Yes.
And there's one in there, a fellow, I've just Googled him because I forgot his name, John Burke for Collingwood, played in the reserves for Collingwood.
I've seen that. He goes off his dial.
Oh, yes.
Just anyone, just Google John Burke Collingwood.
Yes.
And he goes right off, whacks an umpire, whacks players.
Kicked him, didn't he? And
then he hits someone in the crowd. Someone in the crowd's had a crack at him, so he's gone up and snotted them as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about that?
Yeah,
it was a reserves game, I think.
It was in a reserves game that was broadcast on one of the stations. But yeah, that was a different era, for sure.
And umpire Peter Cameron. Remember when he marked the ball over in Perth one night? Hilarious. Yeah, if anyone's got some good umpiring stories, let us know. I was actually, old Bill Wyman. We were sharing some conversation on Facebook because I used to play tennis with Bill. And we were talking about my first ever game that I umpired was at Bridgenorth with Gary Kane. But I remember a few years before then, a good old mate of mine, his dad, who's no longer with us, Barry Parsons, was a life member of the Umpires Association. And I'll never forget the day he bounced the ball in the middle and it went straight in his face.
The old Falcon.
And, the old Falcon. He's bounced it, started the game, bang, straight into the face. It hurts too, when you've got a fully pumped Sharon. Yeah, very funny. So let us know your funny stories of umpires because we'd like to hear them. They always make people laugh, I think, umpiring stories.
Definitely.
We're always mean to them. Right, break time. Don't forget we've got Parrot Park Lotto still coming up a little bit later in the show. That'll be after our next guest when we announce the player of the century coming in at number 9. You don't have to wait too long. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with him.
The Bridgenorth Football Club would like to thank our bronze sponsors. Spot On Fencing. All your fencing, spot on, first time. Michael Ferguson, our Bass representative. Call Michael, he'll help you. Taz Roof, for all your roofing needs. Rossiter Homes, turning houses into homes. Weeksy the Blind Man, installing curtains and repairs. Call Stephen on 04 11 035 648. So please, now more than ever, support those who support us.
The Brumby family has been producing pork in the Tamar Valley for the last 45 years. Weekly Farms quality mouth-watering pork can be sourced at your local butchers and supermarkets. They also supply various others around the state. Just ask Alan and he will point you in the right direction. Make sure you get some Weekly Fork pork on your fork this footy season.
The Bridgenorth Football Club would like to thank their bronze sponsors, Karen Allen Celebrant, for weddings, funerals and formal events. Call Karen today. Lagana Dental, for all your dentistry needs. MJ Cook Rural Supplies, we cater for all your farming needs. Peter O'Neill Cray Pots, the best crays are from Peter's Pots. R&R Caravans, for all your camping and caravanning requirements. So please, now more than ever, support those who support us.
Welcome back to Parrot Park Radio. Rick Fontaine with you, along with Bobby Beams and also Justin Pup Ketchell. And tell you what, fellas, I'm actually quite excited because I've just been alerted why you brought them that box in, Bobby. And isn't social distancing great? Because normally we would have our guests in the studio, but at the moment they're on the line, including our next one. So there's just the three of us. And you brought in a fair slab of berries from Hillwood Berries, Bobby.
They've certainly looked after us after a bit of a plug last week, and
very nice.
We'll tuck into some of those in a minute, I
Tell you
reckon,
what,
mate.
Absolutely. We won't make the next interview short because we've got a fair bit to talk to him about. Of course, we're going through the top 10 players of the century. Of course, it is only 2020, so it's the first 20 years. And this week, we're looking at number 9. Now, last week we caught up with Plugger Pruitt, who came in at number 10. Now, he made his senior debut for Bridgenorth against Bracknell back in 2000. Well, our next guest coming in at number 9 made his senior debut against Scottsdale in round 1 of 2007. Now, he played 116 senior games, 16 in the reserve, so 132 in total. 416 senior goals in his career, fellas. With Bridgenorth. That's 3.5 goals a game. my maths is correct. That's
good average.
That is a very, very good average. Senior leading goal kicker back in 2007 with 68. Very, very consistent right through his career in the 40s, 60s, culminating in 79 goals back in 2012. Senior best and fairest, top 10 finishes on 4 occasions, and was named full forward in the Bridgnorth Footy Club Team of the Decade from 2000 to 2009. And, of course, a senior premiership player in 2010. So if you haven't worked it out, we welcome and congratulate our number 9 player of the century, Lee Blackwell, who joins us now. G'day, Lee. How are you?
Yeah, g'day, Rick. Yeah. Thanks very much. Very kind words you've put out there.
Look, as a neutral, I've seen you play a lot of footy, mate, and always a very, very good target there up forward. But that 3.5 goals a game, we've put that into context. In competitions where with the game changing so much now, and I guess clubs not having that focal point always in the way it goes. I mean that is a very good average, 3.5 goals per game, particularly when you've played well over 100 senior games.
Yeah, I'd put that a lot down to there's a pretty good delivery coming in most days. The boys up in the midfield helped out a fair bit, and made my job a lot easier.
Yeah, well, you still got to get the mitts around them, and then you still got to kick them through the big sticks. So, did you kick a lot of points, do you know, in your career, or were you pretty accurate?
Yeah, I kicked a fair few points. As the two boys there beside you, vouch for that. And a lot of those ones come from fairly close.
Right. So who gave you the most stick as a defender that you played on when you would miss, say, those easy shots that you would normally probably kick from close by? Was there one bloke at a club that really annoyed the crap out of you when you made a blue?
Yeah, geez, I couldn't go past Gardy up there at Rachel East.
Oh, yes.
We went through high school together, and we had a sort of a love-hate relationship on and off the field. It was a pretty good rivalry there between us. And
golly, that takes me back. That reminds me of a famous day that I umpired down at Exeter one day when Northern Districts played Campbelltown. I don't think I'll go into the story because it was, I think at the time Northern Districts were on their last warning, and the board. The NTFA board actually came down to watch the first 3 quarters. I had to go and umpire a TSL game at Devonport, North Launceston the next day. They sent a few of us down there to Exeter, and the board left at 3/4 time, said, "Oh, this is fantastic. This has been great." Nothing happened. Last quarter, all hell broke loose. And we had a Campbelltown bloke snotted a Districts player. He ran straight off the ground, the Campbelltown bloke. He knew what he had to do. He had to get out of there. Bypassed the interchange bench, didn't turn up to the tribunal. We had rocks thrown at our window after the game. Normally, I love to go in the bar and have a drink, whether regardless if it's the home team wins or loses. I said, boys, not tonight. But I'll go. That reminded me of Gardy actually, because he obviously was part of Districts as well there for a little while. So great character, and that's the thing. A lot of great characters played footy right through your era, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, obviously Simon was Gardy's son, but we didn't go that far, that's for sure. No. We always enjoyed a beer after the game, and we still enjoy a beer now. So
that's great. No, good fella. Boys, you surely got some stories here that you're gonna share too.
Oh yes, we
yeah. I'll start off. G'day, Blackie, Pup here, buddy.
G'day, Pup. Yeah. How are we?
Good, buddy. Listen, did you go on and listen to the first episode last week at all?
Yeah, I had a bit of a listen, mate.
Right. Well,
good.
That's good, actually. I've got to clarify something here, and I'm going to ask you a question, but I already know the answer. But obviously, the ads are going a lot better tonight. You'll hear them tomorrow. But Bobby and I had to do the ads last week and plug the different sponsors, and Bobby had one obviously with Hillwood Berries. I wasn't quick enough to butt in when he was doing it, the way he said, "Pup, what do you reckon? You know, on a nice warm summer's night, you know, you sit down with the berries, and the Big Bash comes on, and you grab a cup of tea."
Yeah.
What's he on? What's he on about there, Blake? He like fair dinkum.
I really don't know what he's on about there.
What's wrong? What's wrong with NTFA major sponsor, the green or the white can Bogues Draft? That's what you do when you watch cricket, don't you, mate?
Oh, it's the elixir of life, really. I like to think.
I was just so disappointed when he came out with that one.
Yeah.
He's going to give it to me later, but anyhow, I just had to bring that one up, mate.
Yeah, no, I don't know what he's on about there with the team, but yeah, each to their own.
Now, Lee, congratulations, mate, making the top 10. Certainly a fine career. It was a pleasure to watch you play a few games with you, and probably even better to socialise with you on many occasions, I reckon, which we'll get to later in my questions. Now, as Rick pointed out, you're a power forward, and myself being a former power forward in the under-19s in 95, you kick big bags of goals, as we both have. What's your most satisfying bag of goals that you ever kicked? Yeah, I know you've kicked. I looked at some records today. You got double figures a couple of times in the seniors. I think you got a 10 and an 11, but you got plenty of 9s and 8s and whatever. What was the most satisfying?
Yeah, always. I didn't really. It wasn't about more so how many you kicked. It was you're as a forward, you know, Robert. You're always counting them.
Robert.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, but I don't know. I think one of the most satisfying ones was I think I kicked 8 at Deloraine there one day. Well, Plugger and I kicked 10 between us. I kicked 8 and he kicked 2.
Yep.
Yeah, we. It was just a good hard fought win, and I don't know, those ones sort of seem to stick with you. And I used to have there's a fair challenge out there with Scotty Field. We used to have some good duels, so to kick a few out there was pretty nice.
Isn't it good? Isn't it good to throw Plugger under the bus? Because he was on last week, he's got no comeback. I think that's beautifully played by Lee.
Flicking him under there.
Very well done.
Yeah. Now, Lee, a lot of great moments at the footy club, on and off the field. What was your greatest moment?
Yeah. Well, you can't go past the grand final day in 2010.
Definitely.
I went for the club to get 2 sides there and get the chocolates in both. That was it was epic, really. And to in the last quarter there, take a hanger on the back of Denham Hall, just topped it off, really.
You think you kicked 4 that day too, didn't you?
Yeah, kicked 4. So as a 4, you sort of done your job at 4 or 5. You'd like to think so. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Now, just another question, mate. A lot of our listeners would know, but some mightn't know. You were actually also the mini league coach for the Bridge North under-12s. Well done on that, mate. You've got 3 boys that play in the program there. How are they coping? Or probably more to the point, how's Alison coping without any football?
Yeah, it's costing me a little bit in Jim Beam cans, but with the kids being at home and everything with the corona. But no, they're. We're pretty lucky as opposed to a lot of other kids. You know, we've got 25 acres out here, so they got plenty of room to run and have a kick of the footy, but they do still harp on about when we're actually going to get back to it, and it's a tough one. You can't really say sort of here or there. So for them it's hard for them to understand, I suppose. But well, we just got to do what we got to do. So
definitely right, and hopefully we can get back. So we can play some senior footy, but definitely that juniors can play, and they're our up and comers, and they need to be playing. So mate, just a bit of a lighter note now. We spoke earlier there about socialising a lot over the years. Now, just take your memory back to a footy trip. I'm not sure what year it might have been, 2007, 2008. Now, a lot of our listeners probably been to Melbourne a bit and know the iconic pub Young and Jackson's you'd know it, Rick, on the corner of...
very well.
Yep, everyone's been there. You go to the footy or go to the races, as we had. We'd been to Caulfield that day. The bar's always packed, and hard to get a drink, but somehow if you can clear the bar, it makes it a lot easier. Now, this one night we'd come back from Caulfield, you were able to clear the bar. Can you tell our listeners how you actually cleared the bar?
It's pretty obvious. We just obviously that was our second day over there, I think, and eating a few rich foods, and it just come over me. I thought I'd just cut a little silent one at the bar, and next minute I was the only one at the table who was saying that. Good 15 feet around myself. So.
Well, now you've made him cough. Jeez,
500 people standing on Flinders Street.
Yeah.
There's a few AFL players amongst that too, I think, that were turning their nose up. Travis Johnson, I think.
Travis Johnson, he just gone to Brisbane, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was disgusted.
He was disgusted, yes. But, it was fantastic. It made me way straight to the bar.
There was no bar staff there either.
I was going to say, how'd you get a beer?
No. It was a very funny day, that one.
Oh, it was.
Yes.
Back to me, Blackie, on the light-hearted side of it. That's mainly what I'm about with you. But and like so, I've got some roving reporters out there digging up a bit of dirt here and there, and so on. This is a true or false question. You haven't been lately having any lawnmower troubles at all?
Fair dinkum. No, not myself really.
Oh, not yourself. Can you Can you indulge in it a little bit more, or?
I'm gonna throw Alison straight under the bus here with this one.
Yeah.
So we've got the ride on. Obviously, we've got the acreage here, and the push mower hasn't been used for quite some time. As you'd rather sit down and just drive it around the ride on. So anyway, she was wanting to mow in under the little hedge we got growing up the side of the house here, and she said, no worries. Anyway, she'd tried to get the mower going, and no good. So I was up the shed here one morning. I looked at the mower. I thought, I'll throw it on the back of the ute. With work at HST, I'd deal with ACP down the road, Australian Chainsaw Products. So I took it in there to the boys. I said, listen, I don't know what's going on with it. Just have a look at it, and we'll try and get it going. Anyway, one of the mechanics there, I use a fair bit. He's one of the good ones in there, and he's rang me on the Friday afternoon. He said, what apart from put fuel in this did you want me to do? she was bone dry. And,
Yep.
That'll do it, Blake.
They had quite a giggle over it.
That's very funny. Very funny.
I go in there most days, so it's still an ongoing joke, and I don't find it that funny. But
500 of our listeners will anyway.
Yeah. That's very good. I like that.
Yeah.
And just another one. I'm not sure what year it was. Bobby's got a rough idea. a footy trip over to the mainland. Obviously, big weekend for all the boys back at, I think, Melbourne Airport.
07, I reckon.
07, Bobby's thinking. Waiting to come home. Mick Bowden organised the trip, accommodation, flights and everything. Then realised all the return flights for the boys he'd booked for the next month, not for the day you're coming home.
That was handy.
I hear you sweated up a little bit.
Oh, I sweated up worse than zipping in the stalls. I had to get back for work the next day, and there was talks of coming home on the boat, and
one did come on the boat. Piccolo came on the boat, I think, on the Tuesday.
Piccolo, he just swung around. He said, "Righto, fellas, I'll catch us later."
Wouldn't worry,
Just
Pickers.
wandered off into the distance.
He did.
So, did you get a flight to Lonnie or to Hobart?
No, I got the flight to Lonnie.
Yeah, okay.
Some of the boys went to Hobart, didn't they?
Yeah, a lot of the boys flew into Hobart, and Mick went and got the courtesy bus from what they had at the Carrick Mill then.
Yep.
He got that, and had the joyous trip down to Hobart to pick.
And that nearly ran out of fuel too, I believe.
Yeah, he does a daily double, that's for sure.
Jeez, he did well, didn't he? He would have been sacked from all that in the future.
I don't think he's organised another trip since.
We haven't reminded him much, though, either, have we?
No.
No.
Very good.
No, that was. I mean, looking back now, it's pretty funny, but at the time, it was nowhere near funny.
Look, they're good stories to share, Lee, because as I always say, sport's there to we're not playing for sheep stations. We're sport's supposed to be a bit of fun. Forget about all your worries in life and everything for a few hours and enjoy your mates. You've obviously got some great memories down there at the club. Obviously, the 2010 premiership is the highlight, but it seems to be just such a welcoming club down there as well. And you obviously, with the involvement you got with the boys and everything like that, you still love it a lot.
Yeah. Just the family atmosphere you got down there. I actually the first year I was there, well, that very first game I'd played, I'd lost my father-in-law on the Thursday night. And just the reception I got. I went and played the Saturday, obviously, and the reception from the boys, being a new player there too, was, I don't know, second to none. They're just like like your family basically, and that sort of, it just grew from there. So, and I'd like to thank, Mitch, obviously, for getting me down there. He was a big part of that. So, and obviously, Beachy, he's took us to that flag and got the recruits, and he did a lot of groundwork as Mitch did as well. To try and lift the club, from where they were. So, those two blokes have, definitely played a big part in my career. So,
well said. Well said. Well, look, congratulations on not coming in at number 10, but coming in at number 9. Just sneaking ahead there of old Plugger. But that was a great career, but well done. Thanks for jumping on the line and sharing some great yarns as well. And I better remember that trick next time we go to a bar and it's crowded. Don't know whether I could pull that off though. But at least you did it there, mate, and not at home.
Yeah, no, that's right. I cop enough for that at home. So
good stuff. Well, look, hopefully the footy's not going to be too far away, but that your boys can get out there and let some steam go. Although on 25 acres, as you said, they're sort of blessed that they can go out there and let themselves loose a little bit. But well done on getting in the top 10, and great to have you on the show tonight.
Thanks, Rick, and thanks, Bobby and Pup. Great initiative you've come up with there, and very humbled to get into the top 10s. Yeah.
Good work,
No,
Blakey.
great stuff,
Thanks,
Blakey.
mate.
Well deserved, buddy.
Yeah. Righto, guys. Thank you.
Good on
Cheers,
you.
mate.
Thanks. Cheers.
See you, mate.
I've
Top.
got another story
Yeah,
about
no.
him.
Share one.
Now, Lee, obviously, great footballer, but just light-hearted, loved a joke as well. And one night, 2008, I was coaching the reserves, and Wayne Mitchell was our senior coach. Wayne wasn't there, or he might have been at a meeting, might have been there at a meeting. So I was taking training, taking the whole group. Now, on a cold, clear night up at Bridgenorth, you're out in the open, you can hear everything. So someone at a neighbouring property fired a gun off, and it was very close. It didn't feel like it, but it was as though it went over our heads. As it went off, perfect timing, Lee just dropped to the ground as though he'd been shot, and me as coach thought I'd be serious here, and I was about to rip into him, and then I just thought, this is what it's about. Have a bit of fun. I pissed myself laughing. So did the rest of the group. But that's what Lee was about. He'd get the job done on a Saturday, but he was the first one to make sure the beers would come out and enjoy each other's company. And that's what it's about. You look at AFL clubs now, and they're trying to preach that to their people, that keep it fun. He was doing it, and we were doing it for years. So, yeah, well done, Lee. Great work.
Absolutely. Great character and a terrific player. Righto, we're going to have a break, our last break of the night. Before we come back, boys, we've got Parrot Lotto coming up after the break as well. We're going to give away a bit of money.
Sure will.
Yep. Atkins Removals. Family owned and operated for over 60 years. Our highly trained, happy staff care about your possessions as if it was their own. We also offer container storage and packing materials. Call club sponsor Atkins Removals today on 6326 4100. The Bridgenorth Football Club would like to thank their bronze sponsors, Greens Beach Shop, for all your Greens Beach supplies. Call in and see Neville and the team. Thomas Parker, for all the rare spares your pride and joy requires. Lagana Service and Spares, for rego checks and all mechanical repairs. Taz Toilet Hire, for weddings, functions, festivals and building sites. On skids and trailer mounted. Call Justin today. So please, now more than ever, support those who support us.
Oh, geez, I'm having fun here. Got the old Parrot Lotto thing here and I'm trying to work out how to do it, and the ball's going everywhere, boys. But I can guarantee everyone that the 100 balls are in there, aren't they? You see them there?
Yeah, definitely
they're locked away.
Yep.
And this week, our producer here, Chris Ball from City Park Radio, said, keep this a bit close to the microphone. It makes sense, doesn't it? So actually people can actually hear it. So there they go. And so tonight, you got the list there, Bobby?
Sure have.
Okay,
Yep.
and we're giving away $200 first.
will be the first one, and 100 will be the second.
100 the second. So thanks to everyone who bought tickets, because we sold them in next to no time, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, 3 days, I think.
All right, very good. Righto, well, here we go. We'll give us a bit of a mix around, and let's get the first one down. Here she comes. And righto, Bobby, you've got the list, and the first one, number 90.
Number 90.
Number 90.
Marg Mitchelson.
Oh, from, good friends of ours, Macca and Marg.
Right.
Live in, Macca was actually a very good full forward back in his day.
Right.
They're now up in Airlie Beach.
Airlie Beach?
Up in Queensland, yeah.
$200 up in Airlie Beach.
Congratulations, Margie.
Very nice part of the world.
You have to claim that within a couple of days, so when we get back to the club, we'll put that over the bar. Thanks very much.
Well done. Jeez. Well, there's no one to drink at the bar at the moment, mate, so I don't know what you're going to... That's a bit harsh.
When we get back.
When you get back. Righto, well done. Someone better actually give them a call and tell them you might want to listen to the show.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. So we're now playing for $100, aren't we, this time around? And it is, well, we've gone from 90 to 70.
70. Chris Baddenach.
Chris Baddenach. There we go. Well,
yeah, I think Tony Webb sold that ticket. I
okay.
think. Yeah, well done, Chris.
$100. Well done to Chris.
Yeah,
well done,
good job.
$100. Well done to Marge in Early Beach, who's got $200. That's it. We'll do that. We'll have Parrot Lotto again next week.
Sure.
But it's a great fundraiser for the club, isn't it?
Oh,
it's been
fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So thanks everyone for your support there. before we sign off, anything else, boys, you want to talk about before we say goodbye?
Oh, no, it's just, the support and the feedback's been overwhelming. Keep listening, tell your friends. Keep talking to each other about old stories. That's what it's about. New stories from the new players. And, let's keep connected. And fingers crossed, we'll be back doing what we love very soon.
Yep, another week or two, we'll certainly have a bit more news to tell, hopefully. It'll be interesting to see what the lay of the land is going to be. And, boys, there's only one thing left for us to do now, isn't there?
Hillwood Berries.
Hillwood Berries. Look at them over there. So, guys, you enjoy yourselves back home. Pup, Bobby and I are going to tuck into the Hillwood Berries, so thanks to the team out there. But thanks for your company as well on Parrot Park Radio, and we'll be back next week. And as Bobby said, make sure you tell your friends about it, share it on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. But we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks everyone.
Pup.
Good on you.
Good work.